Guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, it's another car video, and this time we've got a BMW 435D. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I always do. I'm going to show you around the car, show off some of the features, and we're going to take it for a drive. So without any further ado, let's spin the camera. First off, I'm going to apologise for the audio on this because I think it's going to be terrible. The wind is really bad and it's absolutely freezing. The colour on the car is Glacier Silver, that's what it is, and it's a 435D Msport. The Msport just means it comes with some fancy things like the front and rear bumper and the nicer, bigger wheels, what are a 19-inch. We'll come to them in a second. This one's the best engine that you can get in the diesel range. It's a 3-litre twin turbo. Power wise, it's 315 brake horsepower with 620 Newton meters of torque. This one has been remapped or live set up by the Performance Centre in Leachmere, Sunderland, and I think it had 376 brake horsepower with 726 Newton meters of torque. Straight at the front bumper here you can see it's the nicer Msport one, and it's complemented with the black, well, the gloss black kidney grills. This one does come with the carbon kit or the carbon pack, which is the front splitter. Really nice, really nice. And on the wings we've got carbon as well. The mirror caps, they're also carbon, and if you look on the roof, on the aerial, that's also carbon. We've got the spoiler on the back, carbon as well. I really like this spoiler. It's not too big and it's not too small. It suits the car really well. If I go back to the front again, we've got parking sensors on the front and on the rear. You've got 6 on the front and 4 on the back. You've got 1 on the corner there, a 1 there and a 1 there. That's the same on the other side. You've got xenon headlights, and with them all you've got this what pops up, so if you squirt your windows when your lights are on, this will come up and clean your lights for you. You've got front fogs on either side, and if you're wondering what is that little black thing, it's a camera. I'm going to get a little bit closer to it. There, it's a camera. If you're wondering what's that for, if you're pulling out of a junction where you cannot see on either side, you press the button and it'll show you what's coming towards you, so you can just slowly work your way out, because this does have a really big bonnet. Underneath the mirror you can see that camera there. Hopefully it's a 360-degree one, so it picks up everything on the floor, so when you're parking you can see all your surroundings. You've got one more which is on the boot underneath the BMW sign. See there, that's another one. As mentioned, parking sensors, they go round to the side so you cannot crash. If you've got one of these cars you shouldn't need parking sensors anyways, to be honest. It's a twin chrome exhaust on the tips, and the rear diffuser, that's just black, it's not carbon or anything like that. You've got the lovely black what goes around here rather than chrome. To open the petrol cap, all you do is you just press that, open this, and once you take that off you just put it in here rather than having a dingly dangly and scratching your paintwork. So we'll shut that. Look at the front again, really nice front end. We've got a spoiler on here which has 2 different settings. I'm going to have to turn the car off to show you this. Car is off, and I've got the key in the pocket, and this way back in. So the open key, if I hold that, it'll open your windows. Give it a few seconds. 2 different settings on this. You've either got tilt or it'll go back like it is, and then if you hold the lock, that'll close, your windows will close and your mirrors will fold in as well. I've still got it held. And then if I do open this car, it'll only open that side, it won't open the passenger side, so you've got to press it twice. To get in the boot, you can either use the key fob or you can just pull underneath here. On the right hand side, you've got for a first aid kit, and on the left hand side, I've just got my drying towel, which is a Klein Duo, one of the best ones I've ever used. You've got this net. If you do go shopping, this will probably hold your stuff in. And if you lift this up, it's got a little, see that there, catches on there. To get that down, you just press it and it'll come back down. I don't know what the hell you would want to put in there, but yeah, another hidey space or something like that, so we'll put that down. To get the rear seats down, you've got this little catch, so you'll pull that, and then I'll show you in a second how that opens. It has a triangle in case you ever conk out if you break down or something like that. We'll go in the passenger side and I'll show you in the back. To get in the back, just pull this up. We'll come to that button in a second. I'm already on this button. You press this button and the seat goes further forward, so you've got a little bit more leg room to get inside the car. To get the seats down, just literally pull them forward and they go flat, so you've got a really big space, and then just push that back. The armrest has a little grab thing here, so you pull that down, you press this button, and you've got two cup holders. I'll show them. I haven't got a clue what that would be for, I've got no idea. In the back here, you can adjust the heat. You can have it warm or cold, or you can just turn it off completely. Down at the bottom is in case you want to charge anything, iPhone, an iPad, or anything that's powered by a cigarette lighter. We've got speakers and tweakers in the back. The big one is the speaker and the little one is the tweaker. Little light in the back. This is if you want to put magazines or something. The seat belts. This little thing comes out and it gives you the seat belt. I'm going to shut that and I'm going to put the seats a little bit further back, holding this button. They're fully electric, so they go back, up and down. And this one is for your side supports. So if you're a skinny guy like me, it'll hold you in. These will come in. Unfortunately, it doesn't have lumbar support, which is this thing on the back. So if you do suffer from back issues or anything, it might not be for you. To get into the glove box, you just pull this down, and there's inside. It's a good enough space for what you need, but let it fall down itself. Don't pull it down, because I've seen loads of people snap them hatches. We've got the piano black contrast what goes all the way along the car. And if we look here, we've got the speaker and the tweaker up here, which says Harman Kardon, so that's another optional extra. You've got obviously to open your doors, and that one is for your windows. I think that's everything on this side. Nice Msport going along here on the bottom. And you've got the side skirts. Oh, the alloys, I didn't mention the alloys, did I? Right, so we've got 19-inch Msport alloys. You've got two pot calipers on the back which have been painted, and you've got Goodyear Eagle F1 tyres all the way around. If I can find the profile, I think there are 255 on the back. I'm trying to find it, it's down here. 255, 35 at 19. Hopefully that's picking it up, and like I say, two pots on the back. On the front, you've got 4 pots, which are really big. Don't know what size the discs are, but they're huge. Different, where got it. It's a 2, 2, 5, 40, 19. So they're wider on the back than they are on the front. I'll pop the bonnet and I'll show you underneath the bonnet. To pop this, it's not like a regular car. You don't have a latch on the bonnet. You just pull this twice. So pull it once, you hear that noise, you pull again. You've got this for your OBD port if you do want to plug a diagnostics or anything like that, and if there's any issues or anything, but I think it's got a built-in one. With it being an automatic, obviously you've got the brake, the accelerator or the gas, and that one's just to put your foot. We'll get to that in a second. So this you just lift up, you don't have to worry about latches or anything. It's very clean, the engine, but it does need some dressing on it. What that means is make it look nice and shiny. Over there is the one that you're probably only going to need to fill your water up. There's your battery. The rest, radiator and brake fluid, just leave them be. Airfiller, don't touch them. Just send it to BMW. You've got on the top here twin power turbo, and as I mentioned, it's a 3 litre twin turbo. So that's everything in here. I'll show that. You've got a rain sensor. That's that here. So when it rains, it knows, and it'll wipe the windows for you. I think I've covered everything outside. I'm going to jump inside because it's bloody freezing. On the driver's door, you've got a few different buttons, obviously for your windows. These ones are for your mirrors. If you press that one, the mirror will come in. and you press it again and it'll go out. And if you want to adjust them, that one's for your right hand side one and that one is for your left hand side one. This one obviously grab handle. Your speaker and your tweakers on this side as well. You've got automatic headlights and you can put them manually if you want. These ones are for your fog lights and that one's to adjust the brightness of this. So to this, you've got the armrest and it's a bit stiff. I don't know why it's so stiff, but there, that's what it's like. To lift it up, just lift it up. Inside there, if you've got a blueberry's a bloody fruit. If you've got a blackberry, but I don't think people do now, I think that's what's set up for, a blackberry, because I can see there, a blackberry phone. At the back there, you've got USB and an aux port. So if I put that down, you've got your iDrive here. It's a 8-speed DCT. I'm going to start it by just pressing here. To start the car, you put your foot on the brake and you press that button what I've just pressed. This one is equipped with a ghost alarm, so if I start it and press this button on the right hand side here and pull it down, it'll go into drive. So if you look here, you've got P for park. So if I pull it down, it stalls. So no one can pinch your car. If you do have a keyless entry car, these are really, really good to have. So what you want to do is you can have buttons here, you can have buttons here, you can have this button, you can have buttons on here, or you can use the steering wheel. So I'm going to type the code in, and if you watch the engine warning light, it'll flash. So that means I've enabled the ghost. So foot on the brake, start the car. If I come over here again and pull this down, you can see now it goes into D. And then if I get the flappy paddle, I'm going to use my other hand here. You can see there, I'm going up the gears, and as mentioned, 8-speed. You can, if you want, flick this to the side. That goes up your gears, and that goes down your gears. And if you leave it here, rather than flicking it and going to park, you can just be lazy, press park, and it'll do it for you. It doesn't park for you, obviously. Well, it does actually, the car does park for you, that's another feature. This one here, if you press it, it'll park for you. Them are the 360-degree cameras. That's the drain behind us. If I take the handbrake off and I put it in reverse, you'll be able to see me moving closer to that. See there? And that's how that works. So I'm going to go back in the park, put the handbrake on. This one is them 2 cameras on the front. So you can see there, that's the right and left hand side. You've got your different modes, you've got 4 different modes. You've got Eco Pro, you've got Comfort, you've got Sport, and you've got Sport Plus. I just leave it in Comfort. Sport Plus just means it takes the traction control off, so if you think you're a really good driver, you go for it. Over here we've got 2 cup holders you can put in there, and if you lift this up you can put some money there, and another cigarette lighter thing. I don't think that's ever been used. Nasty habit if anyone smokes. Nasty. Up here you've got for your reading lights, left hand side, right hand side. Turn that one off, and that one's for your middle one. And if you want to adjust your sunroof, you can use this button. It does have like a shield, so if you want to make that darker, we've got a built-in dash cam. The mirror, or the mirror, I keep saying mirror for some reason. The mirror, if someone's behind you and they've got full beam on and they dazzle you, this'll dim. It's like one of them dimmable ones. A cool feature on this, on the stalk here, if you press it, it's called adaptive headlights. So if you're going down a country road and your full beam are beaming, there's a car coming towards you, it'll sort of block them out so it doesn't dazzle them, which is, I don't know how it does, I think it's some sort of witchcraft. Another button here, if you press that, you can go through your trip computer. So that's telling us me miles per gallon, that's telling us me average speed, that's telling you what speed of the zone I'm in. It says 40, but it's lying because it's a 10 mile an hour around here. It's telling you the date and how many miles is left in the tank. So on the left hand side, that's obviously your fuel tank. The one there is for your speed, your revs, and that one's for your water temperature. On the steering wheel, you've got for your cruise control, and over here for your volume, your phone, and if you want to press that button, you can tell it what music to play or tell the sat nav where you want it to take you. I forgot to mention we've got an Alcantara steering wheel on this rather than the leather one. Still got the leather one, but put this on instead. So yeah, that's like a sort of sporty thing. I don't know if I do like it or I don't like it. It's a bit of a Marmite. I don't know. I really don't know. And we've got some. It's not carbon, but I think it's trying to be like a carbon lookalike kind of thing. Traction control, mentioned that. Over here, your iDrive, so many different things in here for your media, your radio, your menu, your telephone, your nav. If you go into options, I can show you some cool features. No, it's not, it's menu, isn't it? If you go into menu, press that again. Come down to vehicle information, and if you go on sports display, when you rev the car, you can see there that goes up. If I come out of that, you go to vehicle status. Loads of cars are doing this now. If you go into service requirements, you go to service history, and then that'll tell you all the previous things that have been done. If you bear with us a second, it started raining and I've got my GoPro over there. I'm back, apologies for that. Like I say, I've got my GoPro now, that's safe and sound. So on your service history, if you go into this, it'll tell you what's been done when you've had it in BMW, so the oil was done there. If I go to the top one for the latest, it'll tell you what was done. Engine oil, brake fluid and microfilter. If I come out of this, come out again, oh, that one tells you when the brakes are due, your brake fluid, engine oil and a vehicle check. It's due in MOT next month, and that's why that's saying that's due on the 4th. Come out of that. We'll just leave all that because there's loads of different things. If I go down to settings, another optional extra, it's your heads up display. So hopefully you can see that. If I can zoom in on it a bit, I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to adjust the height on it. So if I press this button, you can see there, I might have to zoom out a little bit. So you see there, that goes up and goes down. I like to leave it about there. You can rotate it if you want, or you can do the brightness. So there, it's gone really dull and there it's gone really bright. Come out of this and out again. Your instrument clusters, you can have different options on there, what you want that to say. If you're speeding or whatever, it'll come up. The time, the displays. The touchpad is this pad here, rather than going up and down, left and right and whatnot. You can write things, but it's a little bit awkward with me being right-handed. When I use my left hand, it's really hard. So I come out of this. And multimedia is stuff that's been stored on it. Your radio, you've got DAB, and I've always got history on. Telephone, your nav, your office, your Connect Drive. So your phone you can connect to the car, and if you've left the car somewhere, you can lock it. I don't know how that works. I think that's more witchcraft. We've got dual climate control, so you can have cold on the left and warm on the right, and your passenger, I should say. That's for your heated seats. You've got 3 different settings. That one's the warmest. 2, 1. You've got for your front window, your back window, and you can have it on your face. That's on your feet at the moment. That's on the windscreen. That's on your face, your feet, and the windscreen. But you can have it whatever you want. You have got aircon, and this one is for your radio. But these buttons, you can just use them on here anyways. There, you've got your mode button and your horn. To lock the doors, you just press that one, and they will go down, and then they'll come back up again. You've got your hazard lights, and this is to make that warm or cold. I don't know why, because you've got that here anyways, and that one's to open the vents and close the vents, and you can adjust them here. We've got the brushed aluminium finish on the dash here, but like as I mentioned, you've got the black, piano black, what goes around there, which is really, really nice. And last but not least, you've got your windscreen wipers up there. If I open this, the light comes on for the mirror, and I think that's everything. Now I'm going to take the car out and have a little talk. It's time to go for a drive. First off, I've just watched that video what I've just made, and I said a few things wrong. If you're used to watching me videos, you'll probably know that I just go through everything as much as I can, and I do make mistakes because I don't edit it or anything. I just go straight through. So first thing was the sunroof. I called it a spoiler, but I think you knew what I meant anyways. Hopefully I have edited that or somehow wrote. The brake horsepower I got wrong, but just by a little bit. I was only 2 brake horsepower off. I am going to put a picture of the graph from the Remap. Hopefully that's up now at the moment. A couple of things that I didn't mention on the car was the alloys have been painted in satin black. The rear bumper is different to the normal Msport one. It's got that diffuser, what hopefully I showed you. The side back windows and the rear window is tinted as standard. I've got memory seats on my seat, so you've got 2 settings for that. The way that works is you press the M button and then you press either 1 or 2, whatever you want it to be. I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, and the only optional extra that I don't think this car's got is lane discipline. What that is when you're driving, it'll come up like the little arrows for the lane, and it'll basically say stop weaving in and out if you're like leaning over to one side. I think you know what I mean. So right, we're gonna go for a drive. I'm gonna edit this out, this bit. I'm gonna get further on through the road because I'm just pulling off, and I'm gonna warm the engine up. So I'll see you in a second. Well, as you can see, we're finally on the open road. I managed to make it out my street. This car hates speed bumps. If you do get one, don't take it over in the middle, take it to the right hand side, because that's your best bet. It's probably the same for any car that's been lowered or what has a front splitter or anything like that, because they do tend to catch. Now this video, I'm going to try and make it as short as possible, and I'm going to try and not go too in depth, but I'm just going to tell you things that you might want to know. Now I'm going to address the elephant in the room, which is why wouldn't you buy an M4? If you've got the money, go for the M4, but unfortunately an M4 is going to be an extra 10 to 15,000 pound more. Your insurance is obviously going to be more money. As soon as you mention M4, it's going to go through the roof. Tax on this, I believe, is £150, an M4 is 290, so there's a difference on there. You're obviously going to get better miles per gallon on this, because the M4 is going to be miles per gallon. Performance wise, this does 0 to 60 in 4.7 and the M4 does it in 4.1, so it's not a massive difference, but with this being remapped, I think it will be a little bit faster. If I had to guess, I'm going to say about 4.5, but that's a guess, that's not actual figures. The surround sound in this car is Harman Kardon, and it's a 7.1 Logic system, and it sounds amazing. If you like music, you'll love this. It's also got a 40GB hard drive, so if you've got a USB memory stick, or you've got I think you can possibly do it if you put a CD in that's got MP3s on, you can store them to the hard drive. But if you've got the memory stick, make sure it's FAT32. Underneath the armrest here, pull it up, plug your USB into it, and store all your music on it. Now the steering wheel on this car, I did tell you it's Alcantara, and I don't know if I do or don't like it. I feel more like a racing driver with us having it, but I'm not a racing driver, so I don't know if I do like it or not. Get round here, I'm in the wrong lane, aren't I? My bad, my bad, my bad. I'll admit when I'm wrong, I was in the wrong lane there. And we're off. Meow. That's one thing, it's going to be really hard to explain how fast this car is. Obviously it's not a rocket ship, but it is really fast. I was going to pick my friend up, I rang him, I says, do you mind if I use you for a YouTube video just for a reaction? But he just didn't want to come on camera, so unfortunately you're going to have to take my word for it. When someone's driving this car, my stomach goes in a knot. Is that what I'm looking for? I just feel sick all the time. I'm not a very good passenger anyways, but I think it's all the torque what this car's got, it just throws you back. My stomach ends up in the boot. It's like, ugh, I just don't like it at all. Oh, I went over a bump there. That's the first time I've had anything like that. It wasn't even that, it was a drain, it was about that big, about that big, maybe it's a centimetre, and it felt like that. Normally this car is smooth as anything. Like the ride at the moment, perfect. On a run, it's really, really nice. You can just stick the cruise control on, put your feet up if you want, put one on the footrest obviously, just cruise effortless. The gearbox, that's what we'll go to now. When I did drive the CLS 63, you had to let the gearbox warm up on that, because when you first took it out, it was just absolutely horrible. But now, I don't like this when I'm parked next to someone, because I feel people's looking at us. No, she's looking down. She's doing something. I don't know what she's doing. Anyways, the gearbox on the Mercedes was horrible. You had to let it warm up, and it was really clunky. When it was changing gear, it just made a nasty noise. This is seamless though. Even when you first started, it's fine. And when you're driving along on the motorway, if you decide to use the flappy paddles, it's perfect. Even in D mode, it's lovely. This one is four-wheel drive. The M4 is rear-wheel drive. Depending on if you're a four-wheel drive lover or a rear-wheel drive lover, I'm a personal fan of four-wheel drive, not because I'm a terrible driver or anything. It's just I find rear-wheel a little bit leery. In the wet especially, it's just, I just feel like I'm gonna crash. Like I say, I'm not a bad driver, I just feel a little bit, you know. The Mercedes, when I had that out, in the wet, the traction control was just kicking in all the time, and it just felt absolutely horrible. So this being four-wheel drive just feels in a different world. This is where I'm suited up for that. The seats are really comfortable. I'm a little guy, so I like to be high up. I've got the seats on the highest setting at the moment, because I like to see over the bonnet and I like to see me surroundings when I'm parking. These lights, I don't think they're gonna ever change. I've decided to come over Sunderland for a little drive. This is where I am for my little drive out, and I'm on Wessington Way. Oh, I don't know if you heard that. That was a 197. You never ever see them. Blue one with the like an aero pack on. Oh, I like that. That was nice. So yeah, I'm just waiting for these lights to change. I might have to edit this because I don't know when they are going to change. She's edging forward. And what off? We are off. Quick 0 to 40. And we're there. Yeah, 0 to 40. Don't know how long that took, but it was pretty fast. What else can I address on the car? The brakes, you know what, with them being 4 pots, I really don't think they're very good. I'm going to give them a 7 out of a 10. I had a Focus RS, if you did see that video, and them, I give them a 10 out of 10. They were amazing. I had other people commenting saying they didn't think the brakes were as good as I was saying, but honestly, I thought them brakes were. But these, yeah, like I say, I don't think they're the best. I'm gonna give them a 7, maybe it's a 7.5 out of 10. Driving wise, this car, it's great. When you're going roundabouts like this, the grip is amazing. So there we're round. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use the flappy paddles. I'm going to drop it a gear, and we are off. Woohoo! Slow down, because yeah. Yeah, it's a fast car. For a diesel, it's really fast. You know what? I never thought the day where diesel would be this fast. Puts a smile on my face all the time. If anyone does have an M4, I'd really like a shot, just to see what it's like. So if anyone has one, let us know. I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. I think I've mentioned everything, so I'm not going to go into any more. If you do want to know anything else, as always, leave us a comment, leave us a like, do whatever you want, and I'll get straight back to you.